Good morning, it's Sam the Oil Man here with my second episode of the second day of this Rumble. Now in this episode, I'm going to talk about how to actually score 100% in your Rumble matches. This was specifically requested by someone in the guild, and it's going to be two parts because we're still too early in the Rumble that doesn't seem to be anyone. We're still fighting easy opponents. So let's put Bobby down first. So it'll make more sense once I'm actually fighting someone who is a bit of a challenge, which will happen probably in a few days. So the second part to this will be showing the examples once I stop scoring 100%. But the basics of it is every bit of damage you take to your cards reduces your score. But if you look here, Devil Bobby and Tina, they have the Brain Leech, which leeches health back. So when you finish the battle, so first, if Bobby or Tina takes damage, you lose points off your perfect 100 score. Say they take 3 damage, you might, I don't know that it's a perfect one-to-one relationship. You're not going to necessarily take a full 3 points off, but you're going to take at least 1 point off. Then if they leech and take that energy back, they fight, they get the health back, their health goes back up to 100%. So as long as you finish the battle, defeat them, and all your cards still have 100% health, you get 100 points. So this is where building a deck for your Rumble becomes very important, because you might have some very powerful cards like what I do in this deck right now, and with the disguise attribute up here giving 50% cheered and bomb of 50%, it's worthwhile to throw disguise cards into your deck. But the thing is a lot of the disguise cards don't necessarily have that leech to restore their health back, which is means that you might lose a few points compared to what you would otherwise. However, for me at least, I would rather have a deck that will win and I'll sacrifice a couple points, rather than a deck that is going to get 100 perfect points most of the time, but then lose a couple essential battles, because I think the points that you would lose by losing those couple of battles is going to well and truly exceed the few points that you might lose by not getting completely perfect hands throughout some of the earlier battles. For those, especially in my guild, who might be slightly newer to Rumbles, the first battles at the start tend to be very easy, and then as you win, all the winners get put into a smaller pool, and you're going to fight one of them. Eventually, you start fighting harder opponents. Eventually, you might even fight opponents who have decks similar to my hand. And I know that will be very challenging for a lot of you. And that's where guilds can win or lose later on in these battles, and the difference between ranking in the top guilds and the 1000 plus range is once it gets harder, everyone still needs to participate. Everyone needs to fight their 10 battles. Even if they're losing all 10 battles, you're still getting points. You're getting points for every bit of damage you do to the opponent, I believe. And those few points add up, and they definitely make the difference between your final placement in the guild rank. The challenge that a lot of guilds seem to have, from what I've seen in the community, is once you start getting into some of those harder battles, you might log on and here we're fighting Bite My Shiny Epic Deck, and someone from that guild might log on and go, we're losing by nearly 24,000 points. It's not worth my time. I'm not going to fight. And if enough people do that, even if all your super active players play, there just isn't enough points to get through or even get close. But if everyone does, even if you lose all 10 matches, if all 50 players play every single Rumble round, you're going to be one of the top guilds. It doesn't matter whether you're free to play, whether you're pay to play, whether you're all level 10 or less. Like, if you have 50 active members, you're going to be a top guild. Now, I could be wrong. If anyone has 50 active members that fought every single guild battle and didn't place well, I would tell me, but unless you see that in the comments, it doesn't happen. If you have 50 active members that fight every single battle, you'll be in the top guilds. And that's brings me to the guild that I'm in, which is called Wenglish. I can show you in a moment when this battle's done. And lots of guild recruiting goes on. I've had a couple messages about people wanting to join this guild. But the thing is with guilds and your membership is once the Rumble starts, you're not allowed to kick any members. So if you have 50 members in your guild and the Rumble starts, they're the 50 that you're going to battle with. Like, no exceptions, you cannot kick them, and without kicking someone, you cannot have new people enter. So our team for this Rumble is fixed. So here we are. So here's the guild name in Wenglish. And I'm just going to go quickly here. Matches. So we're 3 wins so far. We're 3 for 3, still ranked number 1. It'll probably be another couple days before all the active guilds start differentiating and moving between ones and in the top 1,000. So just a highlight of some of our players. Sean there, he's our top player. I've got a shot at Sean. Nearly got him last time, and because I'm still fighting this guild, I'm still ranked lower. You can see there I didn't get a perfect round. I lost points. I wasn't paying attention somewhere. Oops. Yes, and I've played a few battles here, but the update schedule of the points in these ranked tiers, I think it takes about 15 minutes to half an hour to update sometimes. So you might fight your 10 matches and then go in and go, I didn't rank up, like I'm still down lower. You'll get your points, it'll just take 10 to 15 minutes. Now you can see we've got a lot of active players, which is great. But at the moment we have 4 players down the bottom there who have not participated so far. Camden, Rurzik, Alpha George, and Naoki. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they come back in later on. But otherwise, if they don't, there's going to be at least 4 guild spots available at the end of this guild. Alright, let's finish these fights. 4 more to go. So with these easy matches here, at the start there'll be relatively quick episodes. I need to pay attention to make sure I get my full 100 points. And there we go. This is a good combo. Tina with Book of Spells. Book of Spells makes some awesome combos. Let's use the powered up one to make sandwich. And look at the bomb. So you got 12 bomb, plus you're going to get your 50% bomb, which is another 11. So you can have 23 bomb with the disguise perk. And then also it reduces their attack by 14. So if you can get that as your second card, and that is the trick with disguise because of how the bomb works. the ideal placement for the awesome bomb ones is the second card, not the first card. We'll see that when I get into some more of the more challenging rumbles. But because of that, the strategy for disguise cards is a little bit different than the other decks that I've ever played, because normally you want to get your most powerful best card out first, in all the other decks that I built at least. But in this one, you got to decide, well, do I want to put out the second most powerful first, most powerful second, to get that disguise bomb, like the most effective use out of that bomb, getting the cards on either side of it. Let's go with my favorite disguise combo from my deck, Bobby, and then the Book of Spells here. To make the Devil Bobby. But yeah, so it's a very different strategy they've been playing with these disguise cards. And then Tina, it's a quad Tina. It's one of my favorite cards. I got that quite early on. I was quite lucky in my early legendary pulls, in that I actually got 2 Tinas were my first two legendary cards, and at the time before the legendary buff, like a single legendary wasn't that great, so I combined them and made a duel. And then shortly after, like out of my first 6 legendary cards that I got, this is before I paid any money for any of it, I got 4 Tinas. So I corded that up, and that really helped in getting me through the adventure battles, in that there'd be some levels there where I couldn't get by, like just got stuck. But then I would just play it over and over again and wait for the quad Tina to come up, make an awesome combo, and boom, I would win it. And that got me through the adventure mode. So there's a little tip if you're struggling, is focus on just getting one of your cards really, or a small number of cards really awesome, and then just wait for those cards that you play it again and again in the adventure mode. You lose, and eventually you get the right combination of cards with your awesome ones, and you just mash it. One more to go, and then that will be it for this morning. I'm here enjoying the sunset by the pool. It's really awesome. You won't be able to see it this morning because I'm enjoying it for me, but I will put it in my vlog eventually on Sam the Oil Man, or my YouTube videos. It's not really a vlog, my gaming videos, and I'll probably catch some Pokemon in the water. But that'll be in an upcoming episode. I've been meaning to do that for months actually, so we'll get there eventually. But now this is done, that'll be the end of the episode. And if you have any questions, just drop a comment here or on Twitter. I'm at Sam the Oil Man, and we'll talk about that in tomorrow's episode. See you later.